Welcome, everybody. Thank you for coming. Some of the best surprises were in the front of the room because we have a representative from the mayor's office up here for international communities, Terrence O'Neill. We have Mike Sullivan, our county assessor. And we have Dr. Flores, president of the University of Houston downtown. Why are we here today? We're here today and we're running a little behind, so I'll make this a little quicker than I had anticipated, but this was made possible by a grant that Liza Alonzo, the Assistant Dean of Students, please raise your hand. She wrote to the Association of Colleges and Universities. It's called a Bringing Theory to Practice grant, and it funds meaningful conversations, and today's going to be about meaningful conversations. Topics are going to be wide and deep. AAC&U, American Association of Colleges and Universities, says that as we move into a turbulent century, our nation's democracy and our independent global community require a more informed, engaged, and socially responsible citizenry. Both educators and employers agree that personal and social responsibility are core elements of a 21st century education. So some of the topics we're going to cover today are the topics that are on everybody's tongue about how do we get there? How do we create a group of citizens in a community that are going to be strong in the workforce and have a good education, one that they can take with 21st century skills and become productive citizens of this community. Not just citizens in the legal sense of the word, but citizens in the community sense of the word. How do we create individuals that are going to want to be productive, give back to their communities, and make those communities and contribute their strengths to those communities? Some of the issues AAC&U addresses in their civic education program, which we're highlighting, are community-based research, global learning focusing on real-world challenges, service learning, diversity programs that promote learning across differences, reflected experiential learning, and curricular experiences that teach students how systems work. We all live here in a system, right? There's the educational system, there's a political system, there's family systems that you live in your homes or that you came from, and they're all nested within each other. Culture plays a part of that, but so do economics and all sorts of things. And we're going to have greater contributions about what those things mean. We're going to have greater discussions, about what those things mean and how you can contribute as a citizen of this community and a citizen of this university and someone who also comes from a family. If you notice that many of these table discussion topics, we'll go around and mention them in a minute, align with these principles that AAC&U is, their tenets in the basis of their civic dialogues. ASCU, it's a similar organization, but represents state colleges and universities, has an American Democracy Project, and UHD, by the way, was one of the key signatories in 2003. So it also builds on promoting civic engagement and learning. And Houston this year is celebrating 5 years of community engagement. It's Citizenship Month. You may have seen that on the websites, right? The Center for Public Service and Family Strengths is a major underwriter for Citizenship Month, and we have activities. It originally aligned with International Education Week, showcasing contributions of international groups and communities, and we've expanded it because not only do we want to look at the strengths of all the people in this city and the diversity of this institution and the larger community and city that we live in, but we want to talk about how we can give back and what are our pathways to becoming contributing members of this society. ASCU, like I said, and AAC&U, both of their civic engagement series talk about not only local communities and being civically engaged, but global communities. Terrence is going to speak on, and with his group, on international communities in Houston. Dr. Flores is going to speak on global engagement. So we're bringing the global and the local component to bear here. Citizenship Month initiative is going to talk a little bit about in its tenets for what is the spirit of good citizenship, okay? And what are your rights and responsibilities as a citizen of this community? It's an opportunity to highlight the diversity of everyone here and their accomplishments and meet the global challenges of multiculturalism and diversity through respect and solidarity. Respect for the rights of all. You know, respect is fundamental to any democracy. Ignorance that leads to disenfranchised and alienated groups denies rights of citizens, and it also disrespects humanity. It is the responsibility of all, including all of us, to safeguard our democracy built on respect for its citizenry, and the great equalizer is an educated populace. So we hope that these conversations lead to a little bit of education for the group leaders and the facilitators and the students and faculty members that are joining us here today. If you're a faculty member, can you please just stand up? And thank you for supporting us here today, a faculty member here at UHD. Thank you so much. And staff, any staff here at UHD that's supporting us? Our administrative, thank you so much. Okay. I have the honor of introducing Terrence O'Neill. He's going to come up and say a few words on behalf of the mayor. He's the director of the Office of International Communities. He has been one of our biggest advocates and promoters for Citizenship Month. He also has spearheaded many initiatives, the Language Access Survey that the mayor just put out from a working report, human trafficking awareness, just to name a few. I give you Terrence O'Neill.
Well, it's good to be back. Actually, I graduated from here a few years ago. It wasn't that long ago. I was one of those students that just got into politics in my 20s and just kind of put school aside and kind of went. I'm sure there are a lot of students like that, that you come and go and then, you know, you realize, oh my God, I'm going to become, 40 years old and I'm not going to have a degree. Fortunately, I was able to do it sooner than that. But I'm really appreciative of this university because it allowed me to complete my degree. When you're working and you're busy and you can't do that, it's good to have an institution like U of HD. Now, thanks to U of HD, I'm studying getting a master's at Rice and really enjoying the program, and a lot of it is because of what I learned here. But what I want to tell you about real briefly is the power that you have to really change your communities, the places that you live. We hear community thrown out all the time. To me, what a community means, it's a group of civic-minded people. And I'm not talking about people that just think about City Hall or people that just think about the county or think about the U.S. government, but people that think about their city and their neighborhoods. People that are concerned about them and take an interest in them, and that really want to have and make a positive difference in those communities, in those areas. The work that I do could not have been done without those communities. It was we benefited from the political influence, we benefited from the politicians and political forces that said, yes, we approve of these things, we support these things, but it really was the communities of people, and some of them are here like Noel and others that really are concerned about the place that they live. And because of them, we were able to do things like language access. Now we're going to be translating all of the most essential, vital documents in the city of Houston will be offered in the 5 most spoken, needed languages in the city of Houston other than English. That's never been done before. It's only been done by 4 other cities, including New York, but it's a first for Houston. And we did that because of communities like you that say, you know something, we want to make sure that our city is a friendlier city to those that live here but come from other parts of the world. Our slogan, actually, our motto is serving people from all over the world that call Houston home. Another thing that we got involved in was human trafficking. That was a big issue. And I remember coming here to talk to people, to students about human trafficking. And we started a commission. We launched a human trafficking awareness night in September. And now we're going to be attacking this on different fronts. You'll start hearing about this in the next year. But that was because of a community of civic-minded people that came together to us and said, we want the city to put attention, to put focus on this issue. And you'd be surprised how many people from all over the political spectrum support this and want to see this and are involved in this. And then there's just a number of other things that we're working on. Food banking, global food banking, helping Houstonians here help communities all over the world build food banks. Because Houston really is the model for that globally. And of course, Citizenship Month. You know, when Noel calls me, Dr. Noel, says, I need something to happen, I will almost always, about 125% of the time is almost always, say, yes, we're going to do it. Because she and the University of Houston downtown, along with Dr. Flores, have really focused on helping make this event happen. It went from how many events the first year? Two events the first year, 5 years ago, under Mayor Bill White, who started it, all the way to a one-week event, to having a monthly event 5 years later with over 300 events that are actually happening. I actually counted them. Those are actually happening. And what this is about actually here is what Citizenship Month is about. It's about celebrating what it means to be a citizen. Not a citizen, like the Dr. Noel said, about what country you're from, but about being that civic-minded person that cares about what goes on in their community. So I'm here just to tell you, as a former U of HD alum, or as a UHD alum, I guess, and as someone who works in the Office of International Communities and on behalf of the mayor, that what you do right now is very important. What you do in your community is vital to this city. And I really want to encourage you, don't let anything hold you back. When I graduated late, and I thought my life was over with. And really what happened was my whole life opened up to a very different area, a different, meeting some of the most interesting people in the world. And you can do that. But it takes getting involved in your community and listening to what they have to say. So I'm going to hopefully talk a little more about that with this table. But thank you for having me. If you have any questions, contact me at the Office of International Communities. You can Google us. But thank you for being here. It really means a lot to this city. Thank you.
Thank you, Terrence. Again, if you have any issues, he's the director for the Office of International Communities for the Mayor's Office for the City of Houston. And that is, you can just Google Office of International Communities, City of Houston, and you'll find Terrence. I have the pleasure of introducing someone I know in a professional capacity, but also a personal capacity. Dr. Flores, the president of University of Houston downtown. I could go on and on about his bio, all the fellowships he's had, how he's one of the most 500 influential Hispanics in the country in education, and on, but he's simply also my husband. So I will give the mic to Dr. Flores to welcome you here to the campus and to this event.
Well, thank you, and especially thanks to the faculty, to the staff, to our alumni, to our friends from the community who are participating in the discussion and the dialogue today. Last night we had an event at Lone Star that was just wonderful at the University Park campus, where we unveiled one of the artwork that's done by French artists and a artist here in the United States who's actually Korean immigrant. And in hearing this morning at an event at Harmony School, where they had 34 schools represented and many organizations that were honoring their partner organizations, both of them, they had students talk. And the students from Harmony read a poem that they were the award winners at the opening event that was done at the public library, at the city library. So moving, so touching, because they talked about their being an immigrant, adapting to life here in the United States, having to struggle to learn the language, not necessarily being accepted, and yet now being a proud member of And what they said, citizenship means membership. It means acceptance. It means not only tolerance, but embracement, embracing others, and embracing the diversity that we are, realizing it makes us strong. And when you hear this coming from middle school and elementary kids, it really gives you a sense of how important what we're doing is for the future of our city and of our country. And it brings me great pleasure to be president of a university that is so committed to changing the world, as not just teaching students, but engaging students, changing their lives, embracing the diversity, and in the process of it, helping them to think about new careers and new futures and accomplishing that. And I'd like to introduce, you heard from one of our alums. We're going to meet now and hear from one of our current students. We are proud that we have so many people that are working professionals who are students here at UHD, who come at different points in their life to complete their education, whether it's in a bachelor's degree or a master's degree, whether it's maybe getting a certificate, coming back and engaging with us and sharing their experiences so that we have people from different generations studying here. And we have the opportunity to welcome today Mike Sullivan, who is our Harris County Tax Assessor. Before assuming that post, which is a very important one for the county, Mike served on the Houston City Council. He's committed to community service, as reflected in the fact that he has served on a number of boards, such as the Hospital Corporation of America's Gulf Coast Division. He's served as director of the Lake Area Chamber of Commerce, the Kingwood Musical Arts Society Advisory Board, the Lone Star System Chancellor's Advisory Council, just to name a few. But the real thing is, he loves this institution, and he does great service every day, and I'm proud to introduce a student, a friend, a supporter, Mike Sullivan.
Nice introduction, and I am proud of the accomplishments I've experienced in public service. Excuse me, but more importantly, I'm proud to be a student here. Right now, I'm enrolled this semester in 6 hours. I'm taking judicial systems from Edgar Cologne, and I'm also taking campaign politics, which is interesting, from Dr. David Fairbanks. Both excellent professors, and I keep coming back. I'm finally a senior. How many seniors in the room? Okay, let me tell you, those that didn't raise your hand, there's hope, okay? Don't give up. I've been attending this campus since 1987, and I am committed to staying here and finishing my bachelor's degree. I'm not on a master's program or a track for, a thesis or anything else. I just want to finish college, and I want to do it proudly, and I'm going to do it in pieces as time allows. I am that student that shows up in Dr. Flores's annual report, that lives outside the Beltway, that works downtown, that commutes, that has a family. I fit that profile, just like a lot of you and a lot of your parents. Before I make my comments, let me share with you something that's important to me, and that is that, and I've got notes, but I don't follow notes. As I was sworn in January 1st as the Harris County Tax Assessor, Collector, and Voter Registrar. And both are very distinctly different, being a tax assessor collector and being a voter registrar. But where I started my day today is something that I enjoy quite a bit, and it's similar to this audience here. I attended a naturalization ceremony where 1,321 citizens representing 113 countries from around the world raised their hand and took an oath of allegiance to our country. And at the end of it, they're U.S. citizens. And why am I there? I'm there sitting on the floor as an invited guest to the federal judge, whoever it may be, every month, because I'm the voter registrar. That's really powerful, because at the end of the process, at the end of the ceremony, my employees are upstairs with stacks of voter registration cards to give out and to help and to assist those new citizens. We're not just putting them in a folder and a pamphlet and take this home and read it when you have time. We take a yellow highlighter and we highlight the sections that are required to be filled out by law, because we know people are excited. They just want to go out and holler and yell and jump up and down and say, I did it, just like we all will when we graduate. So we make it easy for them. We have almost nearly a 95% collection rate at those ceremonies. Also as a voter registrar. The history in the voter registrar's office in Harris County has been, in my opinion, spotty at best. I campaigned on that issue. I thought I could do a better job. So when I was sworn in, I changed the face of my voters department. Without getting into the demographic details, I'll let you fill in the blanks. But my voter manager is Albert Chang, C-H-E-N-G. My director of outreach is Xavier Herrera, who Terrence can vouch for. I stole him from the mayor's office. I also recently stole the mayor's social media director, also a good hire. But I want to surround myself with good people, and that's Justin Concepcion, also a non-traditional name. Jennifer Daig works in my voters department, a French lady, part of our international effort to appeal to all people and to serve everyone. The list goes on and on. So I've changed the face of the voters department, and we started and embarked upon an ambitious program to register voters. That's my job. I don't register Republicans. I don't register Democrats. I don't register black, white, brown, male, female. I register voters. That's what I swore to do when I took oath of office. And just so far this year, we've conducted over 70 deputy voter registrar training sessions throughout the county. That's more than ever before. That means over 1,000 deputy voter registrars are walking amongst you in your midst, in your communities, and they can register you to vote. That's really powerful to me. You don't have to come downtown to register to vote. You don't have to come downtown on the third Thursday with the full moon to be trained to learn how to register people to vote. We've gone out into every corner of Harris County, all corners, all organizations. I've been in back rooms of churches whose sanctuary wasn't as big as this room, and I mean that. And I bring a staff with me, and we train those people, and they then are deputy voter registrars. I hate to keep focusing on that, but I think that's really important, because then they go out into their community, the United Way. I heard Neighborhood Centers name earlier. Who's here from Neighborhood Centers? Have they arrived yet? We've got a great relationship with them. It's never been done before. They are a community-based service organization that provides services to those that need them. I think that's extraordinarily beneficial for all of us, because they will help educate and train and nurture people in those communities, and I want to be a part of that. So we've partnered with them. They also are probably the largest, Terrence, maybe in the area, that $250 million budget, a lot of offices, a lot of people, a lot of great programs, and they get results. So that's good for all of us. As far as my family goes, let me share this with you, and this is really for the students. I'm 56 years old, kind of on a second career, midlife crisis, however you want to look at it, in politics. I have a 21-year-old daughter that's a junior at Baylor University in Waco. And 2 days a week, she does this on her own with a couple of other girlfriends. 2 days a week, she goes to a poverty-stricken part of Waco. This is not part of her curriculum at Baylor. It's not part of any organized program, but each of you can do something like this, and you may already do it. There are probably things like this going on that I don't know about. But she and a couple of other girls take these young, underprivileged children, and they play with them. They talk to them. They take them to get an ice cream cone. They take them to the movies. They talk to them about what to do and what not to do. It's moving for me as a parent, but also as a leader, to know that this is going on and this is what you can do. She has been thanked by single mothers who said, no one like this has ever talked to us. you know, it's just really neat. I get a little emotional, but I'm proud of her. So, but, well, thank you. I hope that wasn't on camera, but that's okay. Civic engagement takes many forms. Voting is probably one of the most important that you can do. Let me give you a couple of statistics real quick. There are 4.2 million residents in Harris County. And anybody want to guess how many are registered to vote? Just throw a number out, really. Let's engage a little. Engagement, let's engage. 2.2. You heard me speak the other day. No, I'm teasing. There are right at 2 million voters, 1.976 million registered voters. And in the city of Houston, we have 2 million residents, 2.1 million residents, depending upon which chart you look at and what day of the week it is. And only 976,000, if I remember correct, less than half are registered to vote. So we hope to make a difference, and you can make a difference in that area too, because if you're not engaged, you won't be a part of the process. I believe in that. I believed in it locally, and you can engage in a lot of different ways, politically, socially, through your church, and just on your own. I ran for office in 2000. No particular agenda, no fancy name, didn't have a lot of money, just scraped by to get my name on the ballot. I don't even remember how I paid for the filing fee. I think it was $1,000 or $1,500. I ran and I lost. I got 11% of the vote, 11% of the vote against an incumbent who had been very popular, but it didn't deter me, and that's kind of my message to you. Don't stand down. Keep fighting. 2 years later, I ran against him again, and I didn't do much better. So some friends of mine pulled me off to the side, and they said, you know, we like you. We know you want to do well. There are some openings on the school board next year. Why don't you run for school board? So I did, and we did actually have a little bit of a following by then. And I ran in a four-man race and won with 57% of the vote. So my message is don't ever give up. Keep working, keep trying, and do what you want to do. Don't let anyone tell you you can't do something. That is the worst mistake any of my 450 employees can tell me at the tax office, is that we can't do it. Because I'm then on a mission, and I want you to be on a mission to do what you want to do as well. The school board position led me to a state appointment on a water board, and everybody knows how important water is now. I then ran for Houston City Council, also a four-man race, got in a runoff and ended up winning. Served 5 years, then ran countywide and came over here to the county and was sworn in January 1st. And my message is not about me and my success in politics. My message is that I came from the same type of homes that you did. My parents didn't go to college. I'm the first one to try to go to college. When I enrolled at University of Houston main campus, I was put on probation my first semester because of my grades, and my second semester I was suspended. I was kicked out of school. I had to go out to San Jacinto Junior College for 3 semesters to get my GPA back up, and then came here and started studying seriously, and then I had a better understanding of what I needed to do. So you never know where you're going to be, but what I'll tell you is never give up, because now I'm in a position, and have been in positions before at every one of those levels, to make a difference, to be engaged, as our message here today is on the banner. Engagement and community service. And you can do it at so many levels. At the school board level, you can determine how much money is going to be spent on early childhood education, how much money is going to be spent on after-school programs for children who, when they go home, the parents are still working. That's important. At the city council level, it's everything that you can imagine, everything from social services to crime prevention and other resources. And then at the county level, you know, when I heard tax assessor, collector, and I ran for it, I didn't fully appreciate the very, very important part, which is the voter registrar responsibilities. So get engaged, be active, follow your heart, follow your dreams. And then I wrote down here, in closing, let me strongly encourage you to walk out of this room energized about becoming engaged. I promise you can make and will make a difference, not only in your life, but in the lives of others. Thank you.
Sorry about all the disruption, but there's 30 additional students over our RSVPs at least. So there's about 120 of us here, and we had planned for 90. So we had to do some quick accommodations. Let me explain to you what's going to happen. We're going to have a Korean group come up and do a performance. I assume that they'll now be performing over in this section or in the back over there because we've had to renegotiate the entire room to withhold all of the students. It's great that you all want to come here today and participate in this. We're so super excited, and we're glad that we've had to break open doors to let you all in. And then when we do have, after the conversations and the lunch, we're going to have table conversations. We have table leaders here. And I'll go ahead and explain how that's going to happen. Table leaders, I'd like to introduce you. So from this table right here is Terrence O'Neill, Director from the Office of International Communities for the Mayor's Office. If you're at a table with one of these leaders, you will be participating in a conversation. I'm going to ask of you, if you're not going to stay for the conversations, that you get up as soon as the performers are over so that this group here can pull up individual chairs and circle them around these tables to participate in the conversations. We will open one more table right there, this first table, and that will be another table on community engagement. I will be facilitating that table as the, yes.
We've got some faculty and staff, and I might ask them, to participate too, so that
yes.
don't feel that you need to leave.
No, you do not need to leave. We will figure out how to keep you here. Do not feel like you have to leave. Okay, so then we have the table right behind here. Not here yet. Who's that at that table? Okay, so we have here at this table Jeannie Hayner, community activist and very involved in the community. And she's presenting on community engagement. Terrence was presenting on international communities in Houston. I will get you a t-shirt. These are our Citizenship Month t-shirts celebrating the many faces of Houston. That's what we have for our guests. Vanessa's bringing those around right now. At this table up here, we have Dr. Flores, President, University of Houston Downtown, presenting, I'm saying presenting, facilitating on global engagement. These are all facilitators. Alvaro Garcia, who is an author, a noted author on American citizenship and getting other voices involved in the citizenship conversation. In the table behind him, we have, it's hard to see from up here. Oh, Judith, okay, she turned around. Dr. Judith Harris on service learning and community outreach. She's covering service learning, and behind her is Dr. John Hudson, who's our director for the Center on Diversity, Equity, and it's a big, long title. And then, okay, next table. Okay, Dr. Mary Nicholson Pruis, who's facilitating, I keep saying presenting, facilitating on, she's going to be talking about campus involvement. And behind her is Mr. Christopher Sharp. He's an SGA, an elected SGA official, and he's going to be presenting on voter responsibility. At your actual tables, they're going to be coming around with poster boards. So we're adding 2 more tables. Dr. Poonam Gulati has kindly offered to facilitate this table here, the first one in the second room. Can you raise your hands, please? First table in the second room there. Yeah, thank you. She's coming to you, and she is one of our service learning leaders here on campus. She's won service awards, and she's going to be conducting a conversation there on service learning. The table behind, Liza Alonzo, the Assistant Dean of Students, who's a community leader, will be conducting a conversation on community leadership. That'll be your table. We will have 15 minutes of discussion, about 15-20 minutes. If you're not staying for the discussions, please let me know, because we're going to accommodate the table. So we're going to start the discussions now, and then you'll be designating a student leader from your table to present what your conversation is about on that poster board. You'll be coming up here to present. Okay, so let's go ahead and start. Table leaders, if you could start your discussions now, please. Thank you for leading your conversations. I hope you had some good talks with some great community leaders at your table and faculty. We're going to show a video, just a quick 4-minute video on AAC&U. They did fund this opportunity on what their underlying principles are that is driving these conversations. And then we're going to make sure you get this straight. As soon as this video is over in 4 minutes, you need to have your table representatives be standing here, one person from each table in 4 minutes, ready to explain in a 1-minute summary. Can you do a 1-minute summary? Your attention up at the screen, please. Thank you.
It is the unique and historical responsibility of higher education in a democratic society to be the provider of intentional opportunities for broad and deep civic learning and civic action. No other institution provides both.
This is an important turning point in our collective history. Political uncertainty, the rising costs of higher education, and lack of civil discussion and engagement threaten the future prosperity of our campuses and communities. But democratic revitalization, self-governance, and robust civic institutions demand more than electoral engagement. They require citizen commitment to principles of citizenship and social responsibility.
The political system outside of our colleges and universities is pretty bad. Ask Americans whether they think that institutions are working well or democracy is good, and 80% will say no. And many of them don't just say no, they also don't participate. And some of that is that they're abstaining because they don't like what they see, and it's also highly unequal.
So I think right now it's fair to say, both in the context of the U.S. and globally, that if you are to talk about the civic or being civically engaged and not address issues of power and inequality, I don't know if you're being engaged effectively.
Demographics are shifting, whether people want them to. The problem has been, it continues to be, the adults that need to teach the children don't understand diversity, don't respect innovation, entrepreneurship, and change. So how is it we always expect the young people, it's always the burden on the young people. The young people have to integrate and get along when the adults come in. So it really has to flip. We keep talking about what do you need to teach students. Many of the students teach us. This generation now, they seem to get along better than we ever have. So the change needs to come on the other side. But it's extremely difficult to untrain. It's extremely difficult.
I think we're at a very important critical juncture for all of the civic engagement work. On the one hand, institutions of higher education are financially stressed, both private and public. Huge demographic shifts in who goes to college and how much they can afford to pay for it. Obviously, a technological revolution going on. But this fourth one being the whole question of legitimacy of what institutions of higher education are about and what they offer to society. Are they simply going to be credentializing operations for first jobs for students, or are they going to be more than that?
Democracy places civic demands upon its citizens, and to meet those demands requires education beyond civic schooling that is broad-based, critical, and supportive of meaningful civic values, participation in self-government, and democratic, open, and principled leadership.
The Bringing Theory to Practice monograph series and grants provide opportunities for advancing and understanding the relationship between civic participation and higher education. We focus national attention on crucial questions about revitalizing the Academy's role in fostering civic development. What are civic values and practices? What are the implications of civic learning? How can the civic mission of higher education lead to broad and deep civic, democratic, and open practices? How can we move forward together to accomplish the promise of higher education? So how can you join the conversation? Use the Civic Series monographs to engage the conversation and start new ones on your campuses. The series is downloadable for free or available for purchase. The Bringing Theory to Practice project also gives out small grants to support these kinds of civic-minded conversations. For more information, visit aacu.org/bringing_theory.
This whole series is available online. If you're a faculty member or student or interested about how to get involved group leaders to come up here, please, right now to the front. So every table leader, come up with your poster board. Thank you. All right. That's the way we roll at UHD. Come on, where's the enthusiasm? Okay, can you come join me on the left of the stage? And we'll just have you come up one at a time. Okay? Now don't all leave in mass, because we want to hear everybody needs to hear what the other tables had to say about their topics. So, you want to come on up here, sir? And just briefly, we're going to do like a 1 to 2 minute summary. Your name and your topic for your table, and then what your table summary is on the questions that you were contemplating. Global engagement.
All right, lots of topics, but I forgot the topic. It's global engagement. Thank you. Actually, I can hold it. Sure. Wow. Okay, in a minute or less, we should encourage travel so that Americans can appreciate other cultures. We should provide more education opportunities to students, both American students and also international students. The American government should more openly assist international communities who are in need of assistance. Americans themselves, ourselves, we should strive for unity with each other in order to help other communities more efficiently. Let me see. And the last one, we would like to encourage more education in the arts and humanities in order to facilitate communication between communities.
All right, so my name is Rachel. At our table, we were talking about campus involvement, and we all agreed that getting involved on campus helps you build a community, get to know important people on your campus. It keeps you motivated to continue getting your degree. And it's just overall a really positive thing. Some improvements that we could make with campus involvement are basically making it more accessible to everyone on campus, even groups on campus that aren't necessarily the first, group that you would think of. So we would expand opportunities to include everyone, so inclusion and variety. We would also create more volunteering and campus strengthening skills for people, trainings, leadership things, as well as applying career skills in the community, and just increase awareness overall so that we can get all these students involved.
Hello, my name is Daryl, and our group did service learning. Most of our table was very unsure of what it was, but the way I defined it was community service, but more. One person had actually done some service learning, and so what they did was they went to an elementary school and they assisted in a kindergarten class and helping them read, I guess. I'm not sure. Since we were unsure about what service learning was, the facilitator at our group was telling us about an assignment that her students are doing. They're going to a jail and facilitating the people that work in the jail or are in jail, helping them. What's the right word? Helping them when they get out. How do they facilitate their lives outside of jail? Like, how do they stay out of jail? What can they do to make their lives better and whatnot? And the key to service learning is the student is the key to service learning. So getting the students' involvement, getting people who are in good standing, helping other people that are not in good standing, and helping them better their lives.
So actually, I'm the facilitator, so perhaps I should not be the one who's up here. But anyway, I was voted to come up here. Thank you. So we also had a similar issue at our table that people didn't know what service learning is. So first we had to distinguish between service learning versus volunteering. So we went through the table, and I think everybody now kind of understands the difference between just going out to volunteer versus having something that's connected to something that you're learning in a classroom as well. And then we talked about the challenges of doing this while you're a student at UHD and you have a million other things to do, including a family and a job. And when a teacher asks you to do community service and service learning in addition to what you have to do to the class, it's quite a challenge, both for the teacher and for the students. And of course, the teacher hears a lot about that from the students many times. But some people said that, perhaps we should look at it more as an opportunity. This is a way that you can network, you can find job opportunities. And actually one student said perhaps we should tell career services that this is something that's available in this type of course. So maybe somebody who's looking for this type of opportunity would be able to then maybe take this type of class and get this opportunity. But I think this is something that the university is considering a high impact practice and wants students to get involved in. So we're hoping more and more students will be getting involved. And of course, professors will get involved too. So, thank you.
I'm really short. I'm Gene Preuss. I teach history, and we had a really great group in the back. It was a multicultural, multilingual discussion, and we talked about democracy. And thanks to Lisa, for doing our artwork, and we elected Beto to present.
Hi everyone, my name's Alberto, I go by Beto. Our table discussed democracy. One of the questions we had is, what does higher learning education do for democracy? How does it promote it? Honestly, people need to be taught how democracy or government itself works. I mean, you can't really participate in it if you don't know what it's about. You can't speak because you don't know what to say. We talked a little bit about diversity. That's why you see little pictures of people. Education itself teaches you to vote, and democracy itself is people, citizens, being a part of it and being able to make something of government, You can't just have democracy without people being a part of it, It's not what's it called? It's not direct. The government isn't telling you what to do. You're the one telling it what to do. So why don't you participate? Exactly. Why don't you participate in it and act on it? Simple as that. Oh, we did have a quote, thanks to Dr. Preuss. It's from Thomas Jefferson. If a nation expects to be ignorant and free in a state of civilization, it expects what was never and never will be. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Sandra Garcia, and I work here at the university. And our topic was community engagement, so our quote for the day is not ask what you can do for your community, what your community can do for you, but what you can do for your community. And so what we talked about was when you are engaged in community events and community volunteerism, smiling makes a difference. Life is like a circle. When you pay forward, it'll eventually come back to you in some form or other. But don't expect it all the time, but just go out and do what you can for your community. Also be helpful. It also helps you gain perspective of yourself and others. It's also very self-fulfilling. We also challenge the students at our table to partake in some community engagement or activity that's coming up. We talked about the meals that will be served through the holiday season at the George Brown Convention Center. So we also asked them to approach their faculty member or their professor and ask how they could become, or their class could become involved in community programs and volunteering. And so that's what we have.
This is also community. It's community, we got community leadership. With that, we talked about mentoring, and you need to care. Oh, my name's Patty. You need to care, have a purpose, and also mentoring. So we have like a teacher or somebody, and everybody's holding hands because they're working together. Also getting involved. We have a picture of kids planting a tree. It doesn't have to be that. It can be anything. We can get involved with anything. We also, with that, we need to respect, because we're all diverse and we're all different, so you need to respect each other, our differences and our opinions, and protect each other, protect the world, and when we care for each other, everything just ends up being better. And there's a happy volunteer, Happy, and she has a big heart. because she cares.
My name is Alphonse, and our group has worked on citizenship. For international students, being U.S. citizen is a dream. But what has the characteristic of U.S. citizenship? U.S. citizenship is found on individualism, job and opportunities. The winner takes all and the power. And the second question was, what group were excluded from voting and citizenship? Slaves and women. And the last question, what can we learn about the past that is helpful today? We are all responsible for to continue making it better, and it's important to talk and agree when we have some problems. Thank you so much.
Hi everyone, my name is Camila. I'm from Brazil. I'm here with Shan, I'm sorry, from Houston, and Maitan from Saudi Arabia.
From Saudi Arabia, and
yeah, we all are here because we have a problem due to our leader. Yeah. Okay. Okay, sorry. So we will answer some questions. The first one, why are there so many international communities here in Houston? Actually, our table already answered this question. We have people from Thailand, Saudi Arabia, Brazil, Houston, Pasadena, Japan, and Tokyo. Taiwan, yeah, and Tokyo. So we discussed it, and you know, Houston has a lot of opportunities for jobs and education, and it's also a good city to live. So that's why we believe there are so many people from so many countries. Okay, Sean?
She just said that. Yeah, I know.
Still the microphone.
And basically, why does it matter? Like the international communities, it brings more opportunities to Houston, basically, and to America. I don't know, how would you say it? It's just
for the country and study about the culture. You have many people another from and study about the culture. Okay.
Sorry, people. Be nice with us.
Alrighty, my name is Bernice, and I will be talking to you a little bit about diversity. But first of all, I want you all to join me, giving a hand for everyone who made this possible today. Thank you so much. Thank you. I think it was great. Our table was really into this, as you can tell. And well, I'm going to start off with the theme of celebrating diversity, what it is and what our table came up with. Celebrating diversity means being, it means intentionally being joyful that someone is different. Diversity acceptance makes one more comfortable and decreases the sense of fear that we have. Also, why is it important to introduce, why is it important that companies care about diversifying their workforce? And we talked about the economic benefits. Accepting diversity decreases tension and fear. Diversity also introduces different points of view, and it also makes us stronger by learning from each other, helping each other, and also the experiences that we all bring from our different backgrounds. Diversity helps one express one's idea without being afraid, introduces the idea of freedom of expression to each individual in the group. And then another reasons why companies should diversify their workforce is to adapt to different needs and to incorporate others' experiences. We talked about cultural competence, which is the intelligence, and how we are, as students of University of Houston downtown, we're most likely to get hired for a job because of how we were educated and in a very diverse background, people from all over the world. So that's just a little bit, and here we have illustrations about tolerance, acceptance, celebrating, how it creates a positive and good environment, happy, comfortable, safe place, and how it has a influence on all of us. Thank you.
All right, everyone. My name is Christopher Sharp. Our table's discussion centered around voter responsibility, which I think is a really awesome topic, and it was really awesome with the awesome people that we had back here. A couple of things that we discussed. Why does it matter if I vote? Voting matters because it's important that we have a hand in choosing the people who make decisions that are pertinent to our lives. So our second question, which was an awesome question because a lot of our people were not citizens. What can I do if I'm not a citizen and I can't vote? And one of the most striking things I heard, and we had to underline it because it was so awesome, we can be informed and our voices still matter. And I think that was awesome, awesome. So thank you all for that. And our third question, how can I help others to vote? We can get educated, we can volunteer for campaigns, we can help with GLTV efforts, and most importantly, we can stay engaged in our community. So it's awesome, awesome things. It's voter responsibility. Even if you can't vote, your voices still matter and you can still be engaged. So thank you all so much for coming today.
Hi everyone, my name is Ahmed. I'm from Saudi Arabia.
My name is Serdar. I'm from Kazakhstan. So
okay.
I'm just
So the first question, how has immigration changed Houston and American? I think immigration gives us diversity. We need different protective and this. I think. So.
Good opportunity.
Yes.
Yeah.
So.
I think different perspectives and creativity.
Creativity. Yeah. And I think the immigration provide for diversity, protective, creative things. And here, yes, I think when here we need at churches and temples, and I mean actually by the point the religion temples that help and support human rights for one world and one human and one people and one family. Thank you for everything. Thank you.
I want to read something here. A failure to address people with immigration. Francis, can you help us with that? Because I think that's important. The problem of integration equals more suffering.
Yeah, more
Isn't that a
suffering.
beautiful statement? It's beautiful in the fact that we need to really think hard about this, about suffering and what we can do to end that. That's the beautiful part, right? Is to be aware so we can end suffering. Thank you so much.
All right.
And our performers are waiting to perform.
Yes.
Yeah, good afternoon again. Just I don't need to explain because you just refer to your copy on the table. And Korean harp and next Korean dance.
Wonderful. That was absolutely a wonderful performance. I want to thank you all for staying to see it, and I really want to thank the performers who did a great job and who waited for us. Thank you very much. Okay, I believe our event is complete, so we'll say goodbye to you.